All right, shalom and good morning, brother Randy here. Well, it's a hawk in the area, but okay. All right, so Shabbat shalom. Good morning, brother Randy here. Out taking my morning walk, my morning stroll, and one of the topics that I wanted to talk about today, again, very important, is the importance of planning. Now, typically, I talk to a lot of people that's known in the world, whether it's faith or just people in the world, and I speak to them and we talk about plans, and they say, well, what do you think I should do with this? What do you think I should do with that? And I try my best to give them as sound advice as I can, and of course I tell them, hey, this is just my opinion. Do what you feel is best for you. However, what I've been noticing for a while now is that people who make unrealistic plans, they want to do something, they want to accomplish something, whether it's moving or getting a new job or purchasing some property, anything that requires a certain degree of steps in order to get the job done, in order to get the task accomplished. And a lot of times I'm noticing that a lot of people are just not making realistic plans. They're not based on any reality. Uh, Case in point, I was talking to a friend that I grew up with, very long. We grew up in the same apartment building in the projects together. And she told me, listen, hey, she's working a city job. And she says, hey, this happened a couple of years ago. And she said, well, I'm looking to purchase a condo in Brooklyn, and I'm looking to do this, that, and the third. And the first thing I said is, okay, well, all right, well, you're working a city job, which is not paying you no more than $50,000, and apartments or condos in New York City can be ranged 300,000 to half a million and up, depending on where you're gonna be. And what's happening is that if anybody knows about real estate in New York City, is that it's gone parabolic. I mean, even the area that I'm from in downtown Fort Greene, Farragut Projects, it's been a lot of gentrification, and the property values you can't even afford to live down there unless you're making buku money. So, and I've spoken recently with her, and she was telling me how the plans didn't work. And I tell you, I know the plans didn't work out because you didn't take into consideration the reality of external factors that's going to have an effect on your plan. And as well, not only the external factors, that you don't have what it takes in order to accomplish the mission or goal. Uh, Whenever you're planning anything, again, moving, job, uh, purchasing property, or anything like that, you have to first make sure that you have the means and the plan in place in order to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish when you're setting out to deal and engage and complete that objective. And a lot of people, they're just not planning realistically based on what their current situation is and where they're going to want to go. And it's sad to see. It's kind of heart wrenching to experience these kind of conversations, because it's like that this person is not going to be able to achieve the goals, but you don't want to be negative at the same time. So you give them your opinion and you go on about your way, but you see them in the same condition, 2, 3, 4 years from the time that they made the plans, and they're in the same kind of condition, or they're in a worse kind of condition. And it's sad because you only get one life, and if you're poorly planning and you're poorly executing on plans, what do you have to accomplish? What is it that you're going to accomplish if you're a poor planner, if you're not executing on plans, if you're not really thinking through matters before you do it, if you're not taking into consideration external factors, one of the biggest things that I notice is that people don't take into consideration an external factor. An external factor is something that you can't control. It's out of your control, but it exists. And this goes into the normalcy bias, and anybody that's informed know what this is. But the idea is that you have to take. Well, I'll give you a perfect example. If you're going to take a road trip, or if you're going to be working outside or building or something, you have to take into consideration what the local weather forecast is going to be, because it is impossible to put up a metal roof in the rain. It is impossible to do lab work in the rain. Very much impossible to put up bubble wrap or insulation in the rain, or when it's slick or damp out, or if it's terribly windy. You're not putting up a 20, 30-foot piece of metal in raging winds. It's just not going to happen. It's just a foolish thing. That thing is going to blow all over the place and possibly kill somebody or something like that. So the idea is this, is that, again, because I'm having more and more of these conversations lately, with people that's out in the world, and they're not really taking into consideration what their current situation is, the external factors, and what it's really gonna take in order to accomplish their mission and goal. So you want to take into consideration all of those things that may hinder you, may come up. Learn how to reset expectations. I myself have had to reset expectations based on things that I wanted to accomplish, but being that whether the resources weren't there or the timing wasn't right, I had to reset expectations and I had to put off projects. This is going to happen. This is nature. This is just how things roll. However, if you're in a situation where nothing is panning out, where all plans are falling through, and that you're constantly resetting expectation, and you're not moving anywhere, then it's something wrong with your master plan. There's something wrong with how you're going about accomplishing your objectives, because the resources, the intellect, the whatever you may need in order to accomplish that goal is just not there. It's just not there. So you're gonna have to really step back and really do some self-evaluation, because it's a sad thing to see when somebody has said that they were gonna do something, or they planned something, and then it falls through. And I mean, it's just a sad thing to see. It doesn't fall through, or doesn't come through, and they banked on it, or they thought that they had it really thought through, and they didn't have it thought through. So really think things through, plan accordingly, try and seek advice for somebody who has accomplished something in that same area. Me personally, I don't talk to anybody. If you're a failure in a particular area, or if you have not been able to accomplish something in a particular area, then the last person that I'm going to talk to is you, because you failed in that area. Well, maybe you can teach me, I can learn from your mistakes or whatever, but the prime person that I want to talk to is somebody that has achieved success in that area. That's just how I source my personal, when I'm looking for advice. Who's been successful in this area, and let me get all of the knowledge and understanding from them, so that I can apply that same success. But a person can't tell you, or give you sound advice in the area in which they failed in themselves. But just plan accordingly. Think through what you're gonna do. Write it out on paper. Set goals. A lot of people, they don't like to set goals, and they just speak out in the air. Well, this is what I'm gonna do, and that's what I'm gonna do, but they don't really set times and dates for themselves. Another critical thing is that one of the things that I do is I try to write down or make a note that by XYZ date, this is where I want to be. This is what I would like to accomplish. This is the task that I'd like to get completed. And the beautiful thing about that is that when you do those things, you hold yourself accountable, let alone if you tell somebody else. Because if you tell somebody else that you're going to do something, or you tell yourself, this is here, this is what I'm going to do by XYZ date, and you're going to accomplish that date, you're holding yourself to the fire. So one of the things that I notice also is that a lot of people, they don't like to set dates. They don't like to set personal date goals for themselves because maybe they don't have the faith or the confidence that they're going to achieve those goals, whatever it may be. The idea is that when you do that, when you do set dates and goals and execute on them and follow that plan, you will achieve it. You definitely will achieve it. You just got to stay focused. And a lot of people, they lack focus, long-term focus, especially if your plan is going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I know very few people that can plan 5 years into the future, let alone 10 years. Very few people that has the ability to execute on such plans. These globalists do. They plan 10, 20, 100 years into the future. Especially if you got a family, you should be planning into the future because if you don't do those things, if you don't plan out, where you want to see yourself and your children and your family, somebody's more than happy to put together a plan and implement it for you. And it may not be within your best interest. So I try and tell people that all the time, plan, strategize, seek counsel from people who's accomplished those objectives and goals in those areas in which you want to accomplish those objectives and goals, and get after it, go after it, stay focused, be a person of zeal and passion about what you're doing. I think that's pretty much it. I think that pretty much covers everything on this planning thing. But it's sad to see people that, make plans that it's not based on any real reality, and then they don't come through. Ugh. Don't want to be in that situation, but unfortunately, many people will because, it's the age-old saying: people don't fail to plan to fail; they fail to plan. Have a blessed Sabbath. Enjoy your day. Shalom.